Hey people, it's real. Okay, so part 2 is about accountability. I have been just showing out. Let's be real about it. It's real me standing up, right? I've been showing out. I have been eating so much white stuff, and y'all know what white stuff is, until I feel like I'm falling into the same traps as I was falling into pre-op. I've gotten better. When I'm going grocery shopping this weekend, and I'm going to make sure I go to either Earth Fare. I don't have a Trader Joe or anything like that, but we do have Earth Fare, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to get my stuff together. The things I like, I'm going to get whole wheat versions of them. I like bread. I mean, let's go ahead and admit it. I like pastas, even though I don't eat a whole lot of pastas, but I have to have a bread or a cracker. So I'm gonna make sure that I get some whole wheat bread and get some is it Wassa crisp things, because I know that has a lot to do with my weight loss not being the best it could be every week. When I exercise every day, when I get all of my protein in, more than 80 and above, when I did I say water? Get all my water in, I see the difference on the scale. And that's all we're going to talk about with the scale today, because I don't want to taint my video with numbers. But so you have to see part 1 to understand what I'm talking about. But okay, so another thing I want to speak about real quickly is last Thursday I went to a support group meeting. I hadn't been to a support group meeting since October, simply because I haven't had a transportation the way I needed it at that time at night. So I went, and my husband actually went this time as well. I thought I was going by myself, but some kind of way he went. But anyway, so we both went. Sometimes I'm gonna be honest, sometimes he intimidates me from on this journey. You get what I'm saying? Like he's kind of pushy when it comes to certain things, and so he'll say things like, you need to ask that question you were thinking about the other day. You need to, and I'm like, whoa, let me handle this, but that's just him. But anyway, so as we were walking in, we see someone walking ahead of us that we thought we recognized. And so my husband was like, isn't that so and so? I was like, I don't think so, because most of the time when he says that, it's usually somebody else. And so I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't really see. So I'm like, I don't think so. And as we got closer, we ended up being right behind her, going down the stairwell, because where we meet is kind of like in a basement. So we got we saw her side profile, and I was like, yeah, that's her. And so I was like, hey, whatever like that. And she looked up, and then she just kind of looked. She had this puzzled look on her face. She looked at me, and then she looked at my husband. Then she looked at me, and then she looked at my husband. And she was like, okay, I know him, but who is this chick he's with? And she did it. I'm talking about, we're on the stairwell, and we're both stopped. And she did it about 4 times. She was part of the ministry that we came out of. It was just a different church that she went to. And so my husband's a minister, so she was looking at him like, okay, I know you, but I don't know her. Who is, she could, it could not register with her. And so and then we were like, we said our last name, and she was like, oh, okay. And then she was still looking at him like, but that's not your wife. And so as we started going down the stairs, and we went to sign in. And as we were talking, I was like, oh, so how did I bring it up? I said, so you're having surgery? And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, you're so and so, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, and I said the name of the church this time, and I said, I was the one that did such and such and such. And to be honest with you, there were only two big people in our church. It was me and another girl. So, y'all, me and this hair. So, she basically could picture who she thought I was, but looking at me, it just didn't add up for her. And so I whipped out my trusty iPhone. Y'all, if you have a phone that shows pictures, make yourself a comparison picture. That is the best icebreaker, I think, at support groups. That was the best icebreaker I could have, because this was my first time really talking to somebody. Even though I knew her, this really just gave her more of a door to say, wow. And how long has it been since you had surgery? I mean, that was her next question. And we talked about it, and then she told me that the following Tuesday is when she was having surgery. And so I said, okay, I'm going to come and see you. And I did. And we're staying in contact. And so my thing with accountability is, since I've connected with her, I feel almost like a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, okay, I have to be on top of my game. I have to do everything I have to do because I have somebody looking up to me now. And I didn't have that before. I was always looking for somebody to sponsor me. I'm still looking for a sponsor. Don't get me wrong, because I need somebody to help me with these card monsters. But I just felt, I felt like a senior in high school showing the freshmen around. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I felt good. And I felt good having advice for her. I felt good bringing a little care package to the hospital and knowing that this was going to help her first week home. So if you guys are kind of shy and don't do a lot of talking at the support group meetings, try that technique. Try, having your comparison picture, on your phone or something like that, and using that as an icebreaker. It worked for me. So I just wanted to throw that in as my part 2. Excuse me. And that is it for my weekly update. So you guys be blessed. Have a blessed week. Have a good Friday and a happy Resurrection Sunday. Alright? I was about to say amen. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Bye.